Good evening and welcome to Happy Hour with the Cardinals. We're here live at Conrad's Ale House and Restaurant in Liberty. I'm Chase Kearney, and joining me tonight is Athletic Director Tom Eisenhauer. Tom, how are you doing?
Good, Chase.
Good. So let's jump right in, right? So there's been a few changes to the conference and membership moves within our league, adding Upper Iowa, Indianapolis staying put, and possibly other potential additions. From your chair, the big chair, right? What are the impacts of these changes?
Well, they're significant. There's value in being in a league. That's why so many schools do that, right? You join a conference, an association, provides stability with scheduling, provides equity and fair play. And so anytime you have a change in membership, it disrupts the schedules, which not only impacts the conference schedules, but also your non-conference schedules. And it puts a lot of work and a lot of burden on redoing those schedules. It changes your format to your conference championships. And in some cases, it can have an impact on the NCAA championship selection as well. So, having the right number of schools, having the good members in the league is really important. And so I'm very thankful that we have a strong league in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, and it's always been strong since we joined in 2012. And I believe the schools we have now, with the addition of Upper Iowa, it's a tremendous league, and I'm just glad that we're part of it.
So conference is changing, but the landscape at Jewel has changed too. We've welcomed men's and women's powerlifting, men's and women's wrestling, and now men's and women's lacrosse. With such transformation on campus, how does the college stay true to its traditions while adapting to the ever-changing landscape of the NCAA?
Yeah, that's a great question. The William Jewell College is the critical thinking college, and it's more than just a tagline. It's really who we are, and so to stay put and not adapt wouldn't be true to our mission. Wouldn't be true to who we are and our identity. And so the college has been there since 1849. So you can imagine how the world has changed since 1849, right? The first students arrived on horseback and in carriages, and the buildings weren't lit by electricity, and many of the buildings probably didn't have running water and restrooms in them. And so, the world changes, and Jewel has changed along with it. And a lot of credit to our board of trustees and our president, Dr. Elizabeth McLeod Walls, for being visionary and being able to look forward and be able to adapt and not just adapt, but innovate, right? So adapt, I would say, is responding to the world around you. But I think that we've got people who can look beyond the horizon and anticipate and just plan accordingly. So some of the new things that you'll find are esports as well. So not only are we looking at the different sports offerings that we have, but we're also looking at esports. And for those that are not familiar with esports, it's not just about playing video game football or video game basketball. I mean, there is an entire world dedicated to this gaming, and it's really fascinating. They won't be part of the athletics department, but I'm really excited to see Cardinal Esports up and running.
As am I, and I know that we're all excited about those Wi-Fi changes. So you stole my next question, the new program additions on campus. Let's talk about some of the additions that have occurred already within our facilities. The brand new lacrosse soccer fields at Spratt Sports Complex. How has that changed? What does that benefit? I believe it's more than just the teams, but from where you sit, what are those changes doing for our campus?
Well, really to share with that, I've got to back up a little bit. And again, to our board of trustees, we looked really hard at our athletics program several years ago, and one of the things we found, which really was not a surprise to a lot of people, was that our facilities were not up to par in terms of providing a positive student-athlete experience. And so we really began this work in 2018 and 2019. And what you see now is the conversion of our baseball field, our softball field, and an old football practice field be converted to completely synthetic turf. We added lights. And that's more than just having nice things, right? It's not just a nice shiny field, right? This allows those student athletes to practice in practically any weather. It minimizes missed class times. It allows us to have the games played when they're scheduled, and with the addition of lights, it also allows us to extend those games and those practices later in the day, which again keeps the student athletes in classes. So really excited about those. But it's a community asset as well. We're finding that local soccer teams are renting it, and there's no turf lacrosse fields north of the river. And so we have an asset to help not only grow the sport of lacrosse on our campus, but grow it in the community as well. And so really excited about the additions of the turf fields out there. And it's already been a really positive thing.
So even without the turf fields, the expanded access, the later nights for possible games, the lack of missed class time, Jewel has still excelled in the classroom. This past year, they won the D2 Academic Excellence Award. And as the AD, what does that mean to you?
Well, first of all, you say they, we. You're a part of this as well, Chase. So, I mean, I'm very proud of that. I mean, that's a distinguished honor that we have, and that's something that we pride ourselves on. That's something our coaches pride themselves on, and our faculty prides themselves on. I mean, being able to get it done in the classroom and to produce individuals who are going to go out into the world and be leaders and innovators, and they're going to shape the community around them. I mean, that's what it's all about, and we're fortunate that we can do that while providing a tremendous athletic experience. And so, it's one thing for us to talk about that, but then to be recognized by the National Collegiate Athletic Association, the NCAA, I mean, I love it.
Academic excellence. Dr. Ryan Stahl was our previous faculty athletics rep.
Yes.
Joining us tonight in the crowd is Dr. Blaine Baker in his second year as our FAR. What does Dr. Baker add to our athletic department that Dr. Stahl did, and now we've got a new one? So, what are those things that we look for in an FAR and Dr. Baker, a lifetime Cardinal? How does he impact us?
Yeah, we can't say enough good things about Dr. Stahl.
No,
and, he held that position for nearly a quarter of a century. And, he is a good friend and was a good mentor for me coming up into this role as the athletic director. Knew everybody in the league, knew everything about the schools, had a great history as a political science professor, understands legislation and understands that whole process. And so very thankful for Dr. Stahl and what he's done. And, I don't want to say that Dr. Stahl handpicked Dr. Baker, but he certainly was very, very high in recommending Dr. Baker in that position. But, I love the energy that Dr. Baker brings in, his intentionality in being part of the athletic department, coming to our staff meetings, coming to our games. He's a regular at many of our games, participating in the SAC events, and is just willing to be right there with the coaches, with the athletes. And so is part of recruiting events. And so, I mean, for me, I don't know that we could ask any more from our FAR.
Yeah. Shifting gears completely, this might be the only time I get you up here to talk. Before Achievement Day, one of our Achievement Day achievers is head football coach of the University of Oregon, Dan Lanning. I don't know if you guys went to school together, but seeing a Cardinal out in the community succeeding, what does that mean for campus?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a source of pride, right? I mean, it's more evidence that what we do is authentic and it works. That the education that we offer is second to none. And it doesn't matter if you're going into the law field. It doesn't matter if you're going to be a teacher or a doctor. You go and be a football coach. And he is not the only successful football coach to have graduated from William Jewell. In fact, he's part of a group. They call themselves the Jewell Nine. And most of them are. One of them coaches in the NFL right now. Several other at Division I institutions. But, Dan Lanning and I did we were in school at the same time. We didn't run in the same groups, but he has a tremendous story, and we don't have time for me to really dive into that right now. But what I really appreciate about Coach Lanning is that despite his success as an extremely young head coach at the University of Oregon, and prior to that, he was the defensive coordinator at Georgia. I mean, he's got a national championship to his name. He loves William Jewell College, and he is willing, and he stepped up to help the college, help the football program. I love that he's going to come back and be one of our achievers. And, for those that don't know, to be an achiever is one of the highest honors an alumni can get from the college. And so we'll celebrate those achievers at the Achievement Day dinner in March downtown at the Muehlbach Hotel downtown. And it's a fantastic event. Tables are still available for if you want to go, but the achievers not only are recognized there, but they'll actually spend a couple days on campus. They'll interact with students. And so his willingness to come back, take out of his busy schedule, talk to current students, inspire them, motivate them, teach them a little bit, spend time with our coaches and staff. I'm really looking forward to it.
So before we conclude, is there anything you want to share with the group from your perspective, from your seat? What do we need to know?
Well, this is not anything you don't know right now, but William Jewell College is a special place, and it's full of very special people. And so we do talk about the new facilities and the turf fields and the link, it was coming. But what I've always loved about the college, as a former student, as an alum, as a former coach, is this is a place full of really amazing people who love being Cardinals, who love the city of Liberty, and it makes it fun to come to work every day. Our student athletes are extremely talented; they do amazing things, and to be part of that and to witness it and assist along the way, it's a lot of fun. So very thankful for you, Chase. Very thankful for our coaches and Jalen behind the camera there, and so many others. It's always a great day to be a Cardinal.
Yes, it is. Tom, thank you for joining us tonight. This has been Athletic Director Tom Eisenhauer at Happy Hour with the Cardinals at Conrad's Ale House and Restaurant in Liberty. Eat, drink local.